Hey guys, I've been doing the best I can not taking care of this plant so I can show you a thing or two. Um, if your basil or any plant for that matter is showing yellowing in the leaves but the veins are still green like they are on that plant right here, this is basil I'm looking at. If you're ever experiencing this, what you're experiencing is an iron deficiency. Now, I've purposely created an iron deficiency on this plant. That's why most of the leaves are like this, even the old growth. However, if you guys are seeing all of this a deep dark green and only the new leaves are turning that speckled color with the dark green veins, that means that there's probably iron in your soil. However, the plant's not being able to access it. Now, iron is a very, very, very important element for the plant. As you can see, it affects chlorophyll. Now, even though the element iron is not in the molecule chlorophyll, it is necessary for that plant to create the chlorophyll that it needs. So it's directly impacting the ability of these leaves to become solar panels and soak up the sun's energy and create its own energy for the plant. So that's a pretty vital role to play, right? Now, iron, the reason why I'm bringing up the fact that most likely your soil has the iron is because typically iron, I believe, is the fourth most present plant element, nutrient in the ground. The problem is a lot of that isn't accessible to the plant, and people don't understand how iron is taken in by the plant. Now, usually you'll see a deep greening and then it'll start to become yellow. Now, imagine if my finger is a root, then from the area from my fingertip, that would be the root cap, okay? So iron is taken in by the plant mostly through that root cap. So that's only a small place of that root. Now imagine if I'm the root of this plant going down in here and I just stop because I don't have a big enough container, it may very well mean that there is plenty of iron in the soil, but my cap root has hit a spot where it can no longer access that iron because it's already depleted it around the area that it's grown and it's stuck. So this means it's going to be a great time to repot that plant. Some of the key factors that play along with iron deficiency as far as iron being in the soil but not accessible is you don't have enough oxygen in the soil. The soil's too compact. The soil pH plays a major role in the plant being able to take up iron, as well as most likely you're overwatering the plant. And due to that amount of water in there, it's creating a lack of oxygen or an anaerobic condition because those little pores are filled up with water instead of air all the time. So these are some key things to take note on, guys. Now, if you actually do have an iron deficiency, what I use is Iron Plus by Biofeed. We provide it with greener solutions, but it's only wholesale. This is an OMRI listed chelated iron. Great stuff, organic. But if you don't have access as far as being a farmer or landscaper to get it wholesale, you can buy what's called chelated iron, and it usually comes in a powder. And what you're going to do is just follow the instructions, and usually it's about a scoop of this powder per liter of water. So if you're using 10 liters of water to water this with your plants, you're going to want to put in 10 scoops of that powder. And that's an easy way to give accessible iron to this plant where it's going to be able to use it readily. And you should start seeing this plant green up within a few days. So it's pretty awesome stuff. But just an example of how important iron is to a plant. It is very much needed to create those chlorophyll molecules, which is what gives the leaves that green. And that green is what turns those leaves into solar panels. Pretty awesome, huh, kids?